Episode 12, Deep Work and Flow State, the Architecture of Peak Performance. Welcome back to The Inner Architect. We are now deep into the second half of our journey. This podcast is proudly brought to you by www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, your laboratory for high-performance psychology and cognitive excellence. In our last episode, we shattered the fixed ceiling with the growth mindset, but a mindset is only as good as the work it produces. In a world of infinite distraction, a world we dissected in episode 7, the ability to focus intensely is becoming increasingly rare. And as we know in economics and psychology, whatever's rare is valuable. Today, we are exploring the two pillars of high-level output: deep work, a term coined by Cal Newport, and the flow state, the legendary zone researched by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. We're going to learn how to design your day and your brain to produce work that isn't just good, but extraordinary. Part 1. Shallow work versus deep work. Most people spend their workdays in a state of cognitive fragmentation. They check an email, then write a sentence, then look at a notification, then attend a meeting. This is what we call shallow work. It's logistical, it's low value, and it's easily replicable. Shallow work keeps you busy, but it doesn't move the needle of your life. Deep work, however, is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's the work that pushes your brain to its limit. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we teach that deep work is a superpower in the 21st century. Why? Because deep work triggers myelin production. As we touched on in the episode on neuroplasticity, myelin is the fatty tissue that insulates your neurons. The more you focus intensely on a specific skill, the more myelin you build, and the faster and more accurately your brain can process that skill. Shallow work produces no myelin. Deep work builds a faster brain. Part 2. The neurobiology of the flow state. Now let's look at the holy grail of performance: flow. Flow is that state where you lose track of time, your ego vanishes, and you feel at one with the task. You are in the zone. What is happening in the brain during flow? For a long time, we thought the brain was working harder during flow, but research shows the opposite. Flow is characterized by transient hypofrontality. This means the CEO of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, actually slows down. The part of you that overthinks, doubts, and judges, the voice of the imposter from episode 4, goes quiet. In flow, your brain waves shift from the fast, jagged beta waves of normal consciousness to the deeper, more fluid alpha and theta waves. This is where your subconscious takes over, allowing for massive jumps in creativity and problem solving. Part 3. The flow formula. To reach a 45-minute depth, we must understand that flow is not an accident. It is a state you can architect. According to Csikszentmihalyi, flow happens at the intersection of challenge and skill. If the challenge is too high and your skill is low, you feel anxiety. If the skill is high and the challenge is too low, you feel boredom. Flow exists in the sweet spot, where the task is just 4% beyond your current ability. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we help you identify your flow triggers. These include clear goals, you must know exactly what you are trying to do in this session; immediate feedback, you need to know if you are making progress; and the absence of distraction. A single ping on your phone can take your brain 20 minutes to return to deep focus. This is why multitasking is a myth. You aren't doing two things at once, you're just rapidly switching and leaving a trail of attention residue that lowers your IQ by up to 10 points. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we provide a deep work audit. It helps you track your deep hours versus your shallow hours. The goal isn't to be 100% deep, that's impossible. The goal is to ensure that your most important work gets your most high-octane attention. Closing thoughts. Deep work is a lost art. and flow is a sacred state. By reclaiming these, you aren't just becoming more productive, you're becoming more alive. In flow, work stops being a burden and becomes a source of profound joy. Thank you for joining me for episode 12. For our flow state music guide and the deep work ritual template, visit www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com. In episode 13, we're going to look at the voice that accompanies us throughout our work and our lives, the language of self-talk. We'll learn how to transform that inner critic into an inner coach. This has been a production for www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com. Until next time, turn off the notifications, go deep, and find your flow.